Hey guys, we're back playing Crimes and Punishment featuring Hannibal Lecter, Detective Extraordinaire.
I really want to watch Silence of the Lambs right now, though.
What was the sequel to Silence of the Lambs?
Hannibal?
I've seen Hannibal, but not Silence of the Lambs.
Seriously? We should watch it. It's so good. I used to watch it a lot as a kid, which is fucked up.
Oh, I have seen Silence of the Lambs.
I haven't seen Hannibal. No, I've seen Hannibal once, and I don't remember it.
It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again.
The Hannibal show! I forgot about that. We need to try that.
Here we go. So we're going off of the basis of him saying, I was just talking about the tools. That was his like on the spot excuse for what was written in the letter.
Yep.
Which was directly to what he was hiding. What a fucking idiot. Yeah. Oh shit. I have to cover this up. I was just talking about the tools. No, draw his attention away from the tools.
Yeah.
When you're coming up with an excuse.
It's pretty dumb. I haven't seen Red Dragon / Manhunter. That was the prequel, I mean. That be the box.
Let us see what is in this box.
Hello, Maurice.
Huh?
How do I...
Oh, it's a puzzle.
Oh, too hard.
Yeah!
Oh, that was easy. What kind of a crazy fucking lock was that?
I don't know.
And shitty lock.
I've never
Only
seen a lock
people who can solve relatively simple puzzles will get into my secrets.
A bundle of letters in a woman's hand with the Carey family monogram. Hartley and Mrs. Carey were in a relationship. That is interesting.
Liam, my dear, you have been so good to me all that time I have known you. I cannot describe these feelings, but I suppose that they are sinful, and no good can come from them. I fear what might happen. I fear going against God. I thank you for your care, but I cannot leave the man with whom I have been bound by God. It is his divine will, and thus my husband is the cross that I must bear. He makes my life a living hell, but bruises fade, and you must not worry for me. Motive to kill.
Dun, dun, dun. Alright.
Ooh, scandalous.
Madam, I am aware of your affinity with Liam Hartley.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Both these. This one, though.
Yeah, I would say that one more.
Mrs. Carey, we found your letters.
My letters?
We.
I
Yeah.
asked Liam to return them
That's
to me.
just
I
because-
wanted to burn them.
Why did Mr. Hartley put them inside the garden shed?
I don't know. I wanted them back, but I couldn't see him, not after what happened.
Well, here they are.
Oh, this is terrible. Terrible. Liam, how could he? After what he has done.
You believe that he killed your husband?
No, I do not know. I do not know. Leave me alone, please.
Thank you, madam. I wonder if Wiggins has managed to find any sailors.
We appreciate your time, Mrs. Garden.
Did you triangle up there?
I could. Non-smoker. Hurley's letter. Judith Carey's confession.
Go with the Judith Carey's letter? With the down, bottom left? Up a bit?
Even fell in love, but it didn't go beyond affectionate but harmless letters and words. How do you know?
Yeah.
Hurley's presence at Woodman Lee on the night of the murder is explained by his affection towards Judith Carey. And the fact that he worked there. So he wasn't hiding the box. I'd have already executed him. Glad I'm not Judge Dredd.
Me too.
I guess maybe Wiggins has found some sailors. We all know Watson has, but that's unrelated.
Aww.
Back at Baker Street.
Man's gotta find love somewhere. Sherlock's not putting out.
The big sailor party back at Baker Street. Ahoy, Sherlock! The rule of timepieces, of period pieces, is that horses always whinny when they come to their destination.
Well, they pull on the reins and then... Exactly.
Mr. Holmes, we found the sailors from that list you gave us.
Well done, Wiggins.
Cuffs
Let me
'em.
see.
You'll direct me as Mr. Holmes. I did, Mr. Holmes.
Ooh. A harpooner died a week ago.
Uh-oh.
This is interesting. Let us review the other sailors now.
Does anything jump out to you? Patrice. Hello, Patrice.
This man is a harpooner, and his initials are PC, the same initials that were found on the tobacco pouch. Wiggins, could you gather some information on one of the sailors that you found? His name is Patrick Cairns.
Oh, Patrick. That was Patrice.
We found Patrick Cairns.
Good job, Wiggins. Where is he?
He lives in a small furnished dump of a room, but he's always at the Sea Witch pub, where he does arm wrestles for money and drinks.
Excellent. Here is your reward. 2 guineas.
Thank you, sir.
I love how patronizing he is to the kid.
I really wish he'd let him wash his face.
May I use your bathroom, Mr. Holmes? No, get out of here, you filthy urchin.
Aw. Patrick.
What?
Cairns?
And give me the clap.
That one?
Patrick Cairns mixed with what?
Peter Carey, a non-smoker. Excuse me.
We did it! Must still be proven.
If I wish to speak to Cairns without alarming him, I had better dress as a sailor.
He just puts on like a short cut off shirt right
Yes.
here. Like sailor boy, and like short shorts and little sailor hat, like the State Puff and Ghostbusters. I really love that prospect. Hello, sailors.
I'm gonna be really pissed if we don't.
Alright, so dress as a sailor. Do I decide to look like one too? Sailor hat. Is that a sailor hat?
No.
Do sailors wear any hat?
Yeah, they wear those like weird hats.
Sailors have
Big
mutton
facial
chops.
hair. Stuff is all locked. Oh, our hair is locked.
Oh, you can't even change any of this.
Man. Can we change our outfit at least?
Yeah. I think you can do that, but I wanted to look the part
Me
all the way to the
too.
nines.
Me too. Sailor!
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
Now I can approach Cairns and see if he recognizes the pouch.
Now I wish that he had a bird. Hello, cockatrice. The Sea Witch Pub.
Are we gonna, arm wrestle?
To get the information. See here, I'll only talk to the next man who can beat me in arm wrestling. Oh, do we have a taker? Yes, I do believe we do. Get in there, Wiggins. I don't know, Mr. Holmes. These men play rough. There's 3 guineas in it for you. I'm not sure that'll cover the hospital bills, Holmes. Get the fuck in there, Wiggins. Hello, fellow sailors. Yes, sailing is the life for me, etc. and whatnot. Was there anybody here up for a little tobacco smoke while we arm wrestle?
Man, Sherlock in a toque? And an earring?
Hello there. Are you Cairns?
That would have been amazing.
What do you want?
We've heard all about the gambling on arm wrestling here. You seem like the likely sort, and I'm up for it.
I start at 10 shillings.
Suits me.
That was awesome.
Oh.
What? Okay. Follow Patrick Cairns' facial expression to understand his moves. Push, restrain, idle, and plan your...
counter strategy?
What's that?
Pay attention to your stamina.
Oh, okay.
X to push, R2 to hold to restrain. Stamina's going down.
So Holmes just suddenly can beat a sailor
You
who
were lucky.
does this for a
Wasn't
fucking
focused.
hobby.
Let's go again.
Sure, wait a minute.
Aw. Cheap. Ew. Sailor tattoo. Cheap. Clothes. Somewhere on the clothes. There.
I don't know, looks like a decent sweater to me.
Yeah, it does to me too. Kind of nice.
I'm ready to try again.
But I won.
Fine. If you want me to take all your money, no problem with that.
But I won.
Yeah, dude.
This is just for fun. He makes puppy dog eyes when you need to push harder.
Aww.
Like, oh, please don't beat me. See?
That's how you're doing it.
Well, good for you, I reckon. You're stronger than you look.
So I really didn't accept the 10 shillings the first time. He demanded a
I'd like to
rematch
buy
and I
you a
gave it to him.
drink.
Good winner as well. That's good. Let's have a drink.
Those look dirty.
You're a good type. Seems you've managed to settle down in life. You've got money, eh?
Not all that much.
Oh, well. At least you're not as poor as me.
Why do you say poor? You're not working?
I'm a harpooner. But you see, the whalers are rare. They don't pay much. So, as a result, find myself arm wrestling to pay for my drink.
A harpooner. Interesting. You've had a lot of adventures, I bet.
Ah, of course. It's been a dozen years since I sailed. I've seen everything. Old Wallace, damn Black Peter, Great Roger. We sailed to the Cape of Good Hope.
Black Peter, you say? I've heard rumors about that one.
He was the worst of them all. He was a liar and violent too, swinging those fists of his around. He was a tyrant and not much of a captain. At least, not as good as Great Roger.
I see. Yes. I was told terrible tales about Black Peter.
But you ain't heard the worst.
Tell me, and let's have another drink.
It was in 1883 that it happened. The August of that year. Peter Carey was captain of the Sea Unicorn, and I was a spare harpooner. We were coming out of the ice pack on our way home. One evening, we saw a little craft that had been blown north. There was only one man on her, and he wasn't a sailor. The crew must have thought that she'd foundered, and they made for the Norwegian coast in the dinghy. I guess they all drowned. We took the man on board.
And who was he?
I don't know. During the crossing, he and the skipper enjoyed some long talks. His baggage was just a tin box.
That's strange enough.
Aye, even stranger was that on the second night, he disappeared. Nobody knew what happened to him. And of course, nobody could ask Black Peter about it.
You know what happened, don't you?
I do. I saw the skipper tie his heels and push him over the rail in the middle of my watch on that dark night. 2 days before we sighted the Shetland lights.
Black Peter's a murderer.
Aye. Those that know him wouldn't be surprised to hear it. But all this must stay between us. All right?
Of course.
I'm sorry, I'm a detective.
Back in a second. I'm off to the Ghazi.
I'll be here with my drink.
Do you think you did it?
I don't know.
Here it is.
Here it is. What you doing back there? Here it is. All right, you lot. Is anybody up for some harpooning men in their sheds? Anybody feel like doing that?
We're not even gonna pretend to go pee?
I guess not.
Have you got any tobacco? I've run out of mine.
Nah, I lost my pouch. I don't know where. Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh, is this your tobacco pouch?
Well, oh, it is.
Well, I have to go now. I know a captain who's planning an expedition to Cape Cod. Captain Ahab's his name. He commanded the Pequod. He might need good harpooners. I'll tell him about you.
It's a nice little tie-in.
If you like, aye.
But
I'm done here. It's time to leave.
if that's supposed to be... Where did he say Captain Ahab was headed?
Cape Cod.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, Moby Dick starts off... I didn't think it started in Cape Cod. I thought it started in some random fucking place that took Melville about 20 pages to explain where he was going.
Oh god. You gonna triangle that shit? Let's join some brain cells. His pouch and his name.
Cairns has confirmed that the pouch belonged to him. This means that he was at the scene of the murder. Thus proves his guilt. Or, Cairns has confirmed the pouch belongs to him. This means that he was at the scene of the murder, but does not necessarily prove that he's the murderer.
Yeah.
Anything else? Harmless flirting
Oh, we have to choose one of these.
or desperate jealousy.
No.
Could have provoked him. Could have.
I'd say that one.
Or harmless.
No. I don't know.
That creates this. Liam Hurley's relationship with her gives him motive. Hurley's presence at Woodman Lee's on the night of the murder is explained by his affection towards her and the fact that he worked as a gardener. But it gives him motive.
Do you think this is what Sherlock sees in his mind? Feat of strength.
If I go with
still
lucky
say.
throw, it would attach Hurley as guilty. However, that still doesn't explain his presence there that night or the missing tin. We still haven't seen the missing tin. If I
Yeah.
do this, does this make Holmes go and make an ass of himself? If he's wrong? Oh.
Oh.
Liam Hurley murdered Peter Carey. The motive was jealousy and his love as Carey's wife. Liam, condemn him. Found guilty, he must be punished by the law in all its rigor. Absolve him. Hurley's mind was clouded by his love of Judith. Under the emotional duress, nevertheless, he must answer to the law. Why would I
What
have...
he has done.
However, this might not be true.
Hey, did that say completed? Like we've completed the whole thing? Because we...
Where do you see complete?
Oh, it's completed all of the things underneath.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's head back to Scotland Yard and maybe... Have we grilled Hurtley since
We found
Carey's
something
confession
there. I don't
to their relationship or
think
flirting?
So, no.
Are they going to take me seriously here?
I don't know.
I like the way they set up the whole brain schematic of connecting things.
Yeah, me too. It's neat.
I'm not saying another word.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
Am I at the point where I can't go any further? It seems weird. Doesn't feel like I found the whole picture yet.
Wiggins. Oh no, he got us that information. Where are we going right now?
These guys keep pushing for suicide. The harpoon. Watson, help!
You met Patrick Cairns, the harpooner. Do you believe he's the murderer?
I don't know about any of that. I think that, like, who is most evil man, Becky? Facing unemployment and poverty. If he confronted him that night, found out about the box. A lot of people really came together in one night, eh?
Yeah, well, nothing says he was even there. He just had his pouch.
Meaning he was there on that night.
Not necessarily. They could have been at a bar or something. He could have lost his pouch.
The other guy
Other guy
took
could
it.
have
It's possible,
picked it up and
but
just thrown it on the table.
these aren't two random people.
Yeah.
They all have motives, and like, wait, who? No, they all have motives, kind of.
I don't think Hurley. We could change Hurley's motive, and we could change Lucky Throw.
If you change it
Well,
to harmless
that's
flirting, it just breaks apart the entire thing. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a motive. You make him innocent, then that's a dead end. One thing that hasn't been connected. Okay, Lucky Throw pouch. Not really.
Nelligan could have been caught stealing. That one's not right. It turned red,
Is that what it means then?
I think.
What's this?
Nelligan's guilty. Totally not true. He's not guilty, I don't think.
Lucky Throw connects that.
Do we still have clues floating around, words floating around that we can put together? Red means it conflicts.
Conflicts with what?
Something conflicts in there. What's R1 do?
Goes back to clues.
Oh, this.
We have to form a conclusion now.
Really? For real?
Yeah. But so many of these are just like, really, they're up to us. Like, we can make anybody guilty in this? Okay. That's not true. Looking for the notebook doesn't prove the guilt, which is one of the things it forces us to ask. answer. This proves
Okay.
his guilt. The fact that he's going there
Yeah,
doesn't prove his
no.
guilt. He was looking for papers. So let's go by what's true. Next, his motive. It could have
See, something
been a motive.
conflicts between these two. Looking for papers and Nelligan's motive. Because we're saying he was looking for his father's papers inside the cabin.
Explains the presence of them. Oh. I didn't choose this yet. That's why. Wait, what?
And then if you go to this, we're saying he could have been caught stealing bond certificates.
How does
This might
that
have been-
conflict?
Yeah, I don't really
How
know.
does he was looking for his father's papers result in a conflict with that he could have been caught stealing them? That doesn't conflict? The fact that he's a victim of circumstance looking for papers? I just don't... But yeah, the fact that he was going back for it, that's why I have an issue with this. I'm okay with this. Like, I agree. He was trying to break in to get the shit. That's obvious. It doesn't prove his guilt. All it could mean is that he happened upon the place looking for the stuff, for the papers, saw the crime scene, dropped his notebook and ran. Just because he went in and then realized later that he dropped his notebook when he was frightened, like, or, you know, upon finding the scene, had dropped his notebook by accident. Like, he could have arrived after the papers had been stolen by the real murderer, had the notebook in hand to compare, to, like, prove it. He wanted
Yeah.
to prove that this man had taken and prove his father's murder or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe he had suspicions. Because he did have suspicions. He saw that the bond papers had been returned
turning
to the
up
market.
and
So he wanted to go there
traced
and
it back
prove
to
it.
him.
That
Yeah.
this man was using his father's papers. That could have resulted in him... Hell, it could have happened before the murder even.
the bond certificate wasn't in his notebook. The bond certificate number was in his notebook. There was another book on the shelf.
A ledger
that
that had one of the bond certificates in it.
Yeah.
It seems he was hiding them everywhere.
Okay, well, what it comes down to is I don't think that Nelligan did it.
He could have, though. But it
I think
requires
it comes
that
back to the feat of strength.
it's way more likely that a feat of strength happened.
Yeah.
The Poach Prew's visit. He's strong enough. He's a harpooner. He's skilled.
He's low on money.
Oops. How do you make the connection again here?
Click on Poach Prew's visit. I didn't read that. Is that what we should be doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stolen papers. Poach Prew's visit. Feat of strength. But what's he doing just sitting around there if he's rich now? Why is he... The fact that upon seeing that his pouch had suddenly reappeared in his pocket, if I were the murderer, I would have by now realized that I'd left it behind. And upon seeing it in my pocket would have been like, oh, fuck. Like, what? I would have been kind of thrown back. He looked like a guy who actually had just been like, oh, what do you know? I got my pouch back. Who knows where that went to?
And the fact that he is still arm wrestling for drinks.
He also seems like he would be staying, if he was the murderer of that captain, he wouldn't have brought it up as a topic
Yeah.
either.
So you think it's...
I think somebody stole the pouch from him to implicate him.
Yeah.
It makes way more sense that somebody is trying to frame him.
And it makes more sense that Hurtley is waiting for what's-her-face to be able to, I don't know, run away together or something.
But
right?
the thing is with Hurtley, how does he know about the papers? how does he know what... He has motive...
Just his wife?
His motive has nothing to do with the papers. Meaning that that's like an odd thing out. The motive to... His only motive is to kill... The only motive he could have had before learning about the papers, maybe after the murder. Really, his motive doesn't involve the papers. I think the kid did it.
You think it was a lucky shot? That's the big part that's like...
I think he's got biceps under the suit. I saw them.
Yeah, now that we've kind of talked about the harpooner, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
He wasn't laying low.
He wasn't laying low, and he brought the captain up, in
Yeah.
fact, when he started to decide just dishing on old captains.
Yeah.
That are, like, started... After a murder... He must have heard about the murder, even if he didn't. The point is, after if he had murdered the guy, you don't go around talking smack about him either, about how he's the worst captain.
Yep, very true.
If he knew that he had been murdered by a harpoon, too. Yeah,
totally off that topic.
He totally is not.
Okay.
It only proves that it doesn't even prove that he visited. It proves...
Okay, wait, stop. It confirmed that the pitch belonged to him. This means he was at the scene of the murder. Yeah, but... Whatever. They had a visit together for whatever the fuck reason.
I guess. But I think that in my world, it makes it look like he was trying to be framed.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, you guys keep saying he's not strong enough. Holmes is strong enough to beat the harpooner in an arm wrestle and to do the harpoon trick on second try. Granted, some players might take more than one try, but the point is anybody can do it.
Yeah. They're thinking that maybe he visited him and had drinks, but that doesn't mean he killed him.
It is still odd the way he's talking about the captain if he had made a visit. He talks about him as though he can't remember, like, you know, that's long past history, not fresh history. We didn't pin it to the wall?
I thought Holmes
we did.
confirmed that...
I thought we went right through and pinned it to the wall.
No, we might not have.
I thought it went through and hit the wall, and he was like, I did it.
Why would the kid be going back?
We already explained why the notebook could be at the crime scene post-murder. To me, it makes sense that the kid could have dropped it upon finding the dead body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why would Cairns visit the Black Peter if he hated the guy? Why would they have shared drinks? They shared a drink. There's 2 drinks there. There's the tobacco pouch. It makes it seem as though they could have been in cahoots. They could have both agreed to share the...
Yeah.
Like, since it was his watch that night, he could have helped him kill the guy and decided to split the money. Since Black Peter would know he can kill this little shit with the tin box, but he probably can't kill the harpooner, so he's going to have to agree to split it with him since he's the watch.
Yeah.
That night.
L1 to see the conclusions.
Conclusions? Oh, these are the potential conclusions. You have 2 built... What? You've built what? I don't know what that thing said. Oh, these just let us get back to them quickly without rebuilding them. It has to be, according to Holmes, a lucky throw for both these guys to make them I don't feel like we have anything conclusive.
Me neither, but we have to decide right now?
Yeah, apparently that's it. We're done.
That's not fair. Oh, man. I'm just not a killer. I can't think like a killer.
Who's got the most...
The kid has
I really don't think it's Hurley.
No.
I don't think that it makes any sense.
The kid has a very strong motive. Very strong motive. Maybe it is the kid.
And I don't buy that the kid isn't strong enough. You can never tell somebody's strength. And the kid is a fucking fishmonger. Those guys are strong.
And he's been working since he was 10.
Yeah. Anybody could, yeah.
And
but
this
really,
dude ripped apart his family.
When it comes down to it, a harpooner's going to be able to harpoon a guy. Also, I think a normal person who doesn't harpoon for a living isn't going to regard the harpoons on the wall as a weapon. And if they did, they'd regard them as a stabbing weapon, not a harpooning weapon. Like, if I was in that situation and I see a harpoon on the wall, I'm going to grab it and I'm going to stab the guy in the gut with it and run. I'm not going to grab it, full fucking wind back and throw. That's way less likely to connect.
Yeah.
Unless you're a harpooner and you know it's going to connect because you're a fucking harpooner.
Rock, paper, scissors. I be the kid, you be the harpooner.
But what if the kid wanted to murder Black Peter since finding out a long time ago about Black Peter killing his dad and he practiced harpooning every day?
Maybe. Go rock, paper, scissors me.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Okay, so it was the kid. The kid did it.
I don't think it was.
Fuck, seriously?
Nothing's conclusive. Anybody
I
could
know.
be. It could be. That's not fair.
It could be somebody not even in this mix right now. Wife could have done it.
Nothing is, like, hard-boiled here.
See, I feel like the gardener could have been like kind of hanging around outside.
And found out about it as they had a conversation about it?
No, he was like, I don't know, maybe trying to get in to hook up with the wife or something. Or maybe he was like kind of trying to protect her because he knew that her husband was drinking that night.
He didn't physically hurt her. When she mentioned bruises, it was emotional bruises.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, she didn't get beat. He just kept to himself when he was drunk. He stayed out there.
Okay. Oh, boy.
I just don't like that it doesn't feel, unless we're overlooking something in Holmes' summary, it's going to seem like, case fucking concrete shut. What the hell was that?
I can't go with my gut. Can you go with your gut? Because my gut's kind of torn. I feel more like the kid might have done it. But you're leaning towards the harpooner, correct? Should we look back at the conversations? Can we look back at the conversations?
Why? if it was the harpooner, why wasn't he trying to retrieve his fucking pouch if it was left behind?
Yeah. He seemed too... too willing to talk about him.
His willingness to talk about him seems like maybe he just had recently had that meeting with them.
Maybe it reminded him of what an asshole the guy is.
Maybe.
But he didn't really bring him up.
You can
he
check
just,
in the notebook, what?
for the conversations.
You met Patrick Cairns, the harpooner. Do you believe he's the murderer?
I don't know.
No, I need Toby's help. Toby! Find the murderer, Toby. He is the scent of the murderer. I mean, wait, that's my underwear.
Oh. Alright, notebook. He's approximately 19 years old. Okay. Wait, what did that say? Was raised in wealth, but after the desertion of his father 10 years ago, he and his family fell into poverty. He worked to earn money by cleaning fish, despite undertaking such manual labor for considerable time. He remains physically weak.
How do we know this? 'Cause of thin neck?
An experienced harpooner currently facing unemployment and poverty. He can be found at the Sea Witch. Popular by sailors, arm wrestles for money. Like many of his kind, he is a heavy smoker, indicated by his yellowed fingernails. If he was a heavy smoker, wouldn't he have noticed? Well, he knew it was missing. He just didn't know where. Harpooner. Whalers are rare, don't pay much.
It just doesn't make sense that if a man walked away after murdering the guy, he would talk so openly and just kick around after murdering the guy. It's one thing for him to be found in his old haunts after murdering a man from his past and stealing a bunch of bonds, but it's another thing to actually openly chat about the dude that he just murdered. It doesn't make sense. I don't even give a shit if the kid is weak. I'm going lucky shot. The kid did it. He had a motive.
Hey, what if I don't agree?
Do you not agree?
I don't know.
The kid fucking did it. If he didn't do it, he probably was gonna.
Okay, I'm good with that.
And what's this all about? Condemn him. He must be punished for this desperate crime. Or, he's a victim of circumstance. His childhood was overshadowed by loss of his father. He always dreamed of a reunion to hope to find out what happened. He made a poor decision and so fell into trouble. Like what? Absolving him will make the police be like, ah, you're right, Mr. Holmes. Crime of passion. We'll let him go. You
can let him go even if you think he's guilty.
Seriously.
Okay, well... yeah, I'd condemn him.
Because he's a murderer?
Yeah.
So you can make... yeah, let's condemn the fucking kid. I don't give a fuck. Why would Holmes care? On my way back, that kid is dead. I don't know. So is
we've
is it supposed to be done in a way that, like, is the game constructed around the fact that any ending is viable?
I think so, and I think they might have been saying in there, I don't know if you want to know this.
What?
that it might affect later cases, how we play this out.
Fuck it.
The case is solved. I am now ready to present the guilty party.
So tell me, who killed Black Peter?
There is a correct person.
It was John Nelligan, Inspector.
I thought as much, but I failed to see his motive.
He wanted money!
Revenge, Inspector.
And revenge.
Black Peter
Both.
possessed the bond certificates that had belonged to Nelligan's father, and young Nelligan wished to retrieve them.
Well then, I'll arrest this Nelligan. I don't fancy his chances of getting out of prison after this.
I will accompany you, Inspector.
This game's weird.
Is this?
You are guilty
Sorry,
of the
never mind.
murder of Black Peter. Confess now, and your punishment may be more merciful.
No, I didn't kill him.
Your motive? The valuable securities that Peter Carey stole from your father. Carey refused to return the bond certificates, and then he threatened you. You were afraid, and in your panic, you took the harpoon and made your lucky throw.
But that's not true.
You're a liar, Mr. Nelligan.
Oh
It's
shit.
all over now.
I think he may be right.
The case is resolved.
I've made a terrible
I shall return
mistake.
to Baker Street.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye for now.
Would there be any indication? Choose another ending.
Nelligan murdered Carey, stole the tin box containing the bond certificates. This is proven by his dishonesty and the fact that he was at the scene of the murder. You have decided to bring him
You
to
can
justice.
press to check your conclusion, meaning it'll give you the answer. Who really did it?
May spoil game experience. Did you do it? What did you press? Oh, do you want to replay it? You don't think he did it now?
I don't know.
You regret your
I don't
decision?
fucking know. I don't know. Because obviously the game is like... Because it doesn't seem... Just tell me this, chat. Does the real answer have conclusive, definitive proof? Clearly, if it does, the game just hasn't let us have it all on the table. There must have been something there, like a detail that you can put together outside of the choices, but you only get the, the benefit of the obvious clues. But there's some single solitary clue that locks in somebody.
I wonder if that's
Something that locks them down.
I kind of have the feeling that we were wrong in that choice because the chat said they hadn't seen this decision yet.
Yeah, they kind of, that, in a way,
so that made me
spoils
think
by
that
saying
that
that.
wasn't right.
like, ooh, I haven't seen this. Nobody's been this done before. Nobody's choosing this.
From what people have been saying, this first case just has the least definitive conclusion. The other 7 are better, apparently.
Really?
It's hinted at, but not conclusive.
This case is not as strong as the others. I think they tried to make it too obvious. Well, then you're really pointing to the harpooner by saying that. I don't like the actions or the way that the harpooner's acting.
Yeah.
It doesn't wash well. It doesn't make sense to make him the murderer. Unless he's just a goddamn fucking moron to sit around a sailor's bar talking smack about the guy he just killed. It's dumb. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but he's the only other one that we were thinking of, right?
He is constantly drunk. That could make him dumb. But you found a lot more things about the gardener than the sailor. I just don't make the gardener for it. It doesn't... Who knew about what bills?
Go back to make it so that the conclusion is the harpooner. And then click on that. He's a cold-blooded murderer, has been found guilty and must be punished. It was not premeditated, it was in self-defense against an armed and irritated drunken sailor.
I mean, you do have to think about the fact that he defended himself, that he was strong despite being 50, and defended himself and was still overcome. Meaning...
True, very true.
Makes Cairns way more likely to do it again.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens when you do this.
Which one did you choose?
Condemn.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Holmes, could you explain it to me?
As I informed you on our way here, Patrick Cairns is the murderer of Black Peter.
Why bring me here? Wouldn't it be better if we were out looking for him?
That would be futile, as he will be with us in approximately 12 seconds.
Oh, well, if this is your idea of humour...
No, I just heard the front door. Prepare yourself.
Good day, gentlemen. A young lad gave me a note from Captain Ahab. Am I at the right address? Is he here?
Indeed, it is the correct address. But in place of your captain, may I present to you Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard?
That means... It means, my friend, that you are arrested for the murder of Black Peter. What? What? A trap? You think you can take me? Here now. We'll have none of that. And I say that very well.
Fucking Holmes set up a scene for Inspector Lestrade to get his ass kicked. What? He's just having a fucking fist fight because this is what Sherlock's into. Well, this is clearly the right answer.
Sherlock is pretty strong.
Bruiser.
Lestrade, are you all right? Are you able to stand?
Ow! Oh, my jaw!
Sherlock, that was a dick move.
Oh, he took me by surprise, Mr. Holmes. Otherwise, he would have seen what I'm capable of. Oh.
Yes, he was lucky.
Ah. But you got him.
It was remarkably easy. He lost his balance after he struck you.
And you practice boxing, I know. You must have hit him hard. Our fellow is knocked out.
We should call for a police cab and then take you to the hospital.
Yes, well, no need for a hospital. I would prefer to keep this between us. You know.
Of course, Inspector. The case is closed.
You're a dick, Sherlock. Yes, here we are, Mr. Cairns. This man wants to arrest you. I said he shouldn't, but he's not to be trifled with, I think. He's a policeman and you're a murderer. Do what you will. Oh, another man put down ice cold in my Baker apartment. So, do we stick with that? You could look at all the endings. Want to see them all? Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah, sounds good. I just think we should take a commercial break.
We're finishing up now.
Can I drink on?
Go for it.
I'm just super duper thirsty. That ending was cool.
I still don't think that a single one of the murderers, one of the suspects, works definitively. I don't think anything's definitive. And to me, a Sherlock case should be definitive at the end.
Yeah, I think so too.
Let's condemn Hurtley. How, Rhino? Explain it. That there's only one logical absolve. Pick Hurtley, who I think is the least likely to have done it, and definitively tell me that he didn't do it. I want you to absolve Hurtley.
The case is solved. I am now ready to present the guilty party.
So tell me, who killed Black Peter?
It was Liam Hurtley.
That doesn't surprise me. I've never seen a guiltier-looking fellow.
He was in love with Judith Carey. It caused a conflict that proved fatal.
Okay, don't
for
say
her
anything.
husband.
I see. Come on now, let us confront him.
Liam Hurtley, you are formally accused of the murder of Peter Carey. We are aware that you were in love with Carey's wife. He was a violent and irascible man. He needed to be eliminated. You had no qualms.
But that's absurd. I'm innocent.
Well, we caught you, lad.
The case is resolved, Inspector.
Whoa, that was
I shall
short.
return to Baker Street.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Goodbye for now.
You can almost tell who did it just by the ending. Like, it's clearly the fucking sailor because they put so much effort into the ending.
That one was just so unsatisfying.
Yeah. If you have an unsatisfying ending, then it's probably not right. Alright, it's the sailor. Now, go ahead and tell me how it definitively... What's the definitive proof that they're not telling us here that makes it him? And only one ending gave you a
seriously?
trophy, which is stupid too.
I didn't notice that.
What makes it definitive?
Is it something that we missed in the text? Just a conversation that leads you to that?
Let's absolve him. See what happens. What's the conversation that leads you to that?
Good afternoon. I must be at the wrong address. I'd like to speak with the ship's captain, Captain Ahab. Is that you?
No, my name is Sherlock Holmes.
That detective fella? So, you wanted to see me?
That is correct. We need to talk.
About what?
About Black Peter, who was killed in his own hut with a harpoon.
You know, don't ya?
Yes.
How?
The tobacco pouch. You recognized it.
Oh, the sailor. It was you. Unbelievable. Well, fine.
Wow, so this is it.
But if you really do know everything, you should also know that I didn't want to kill him. He made me do it.
I know. Did you know about this story with the bond certificates? Did you need money?
Yeah. I just wanted him to cough up a little silver. I'm out of work, and I thought maybe he could help me. Well, he refused outright, and he insulted me. I reminded him I knew all about that murder he committed at sea in 1883. Then he got mad when I spoke about his treasure. I barely just had time to throw the harpoon at him before he could jump at me with his knife. You know the truth. What will you do now?
I ask that you return the bond certificates. Keep some of them. You will need them in your exile. It is better that you leave the country for a few years.
And you won't say anything to the police?
I will not say anything as long as you return the money.
Well, I'll do as you ask. But what about Inspector Lestrade?
I will deal with him. Goodbye.
Sometime later.
It's good that you asked me to come, Mr. Holmes. We do need to talk.
About what?
What do you mean? Our case, Mr. Holmes. You sent me a message via your little thug.
His name is Wiggins, Inspector.
Telling me that the case is solved. Well, Mr. Holmes, tell me, who is our murderer and where is he?
The morgue.
Eh?
His name is, or rather was, Pablo Coventral. He was also on the ship with Peter Carey, and he was a harpooner. I'll tell you everything, Inspector, but do calm down. Mrs. Hudson will bring us tea and orange cake.
Orange cake? You're spoiling me, Mr. Holmes. That's my favourite.
What the fuck?
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Inspector Lestrade told me that I should thank you for clearing my name. He also said that you were waiting for me here. I came as fast as I could. I cannot thank you enough. It is all because of you that this nightmare is finally over.
I believe that this belongs to you.
My father's securities. Incredible. But how did you get them?
It would take far too long to explain.
Tell me. This is extraordinary. You are a genius.
Then that may serve as an explanation. Goodbye, Mr. Nelligan, and good luck.
Goodbye, Mr. Holmes. And thank you. 1,000 times thank you.
Why is this only possible via that decision to give the kid the securities back? Oh, because if they found the securities officially through the investigation, then they would be remitted to the bankruptcies.
Yeah.
You know, the people whose money was actually lost. So, making this the most amoral choice.
Yeah, kinda.
Fuck that kid. I'm going back to condemning the sailor. I'm not letting that kid have his fucking securities back. Your dad was a fucking cheat, and you don't deserve to not live in poverty just because your rich dad died.
Yeah, I do kind of feel better about condemning the sailor. But orange cake.
Self-defense doesn't equal murder? Well, I guess that's for the courts to decide, isn't it? That's not for the investigator to decide.
Oh, you're gonna have to fight him again. Are you ready?
Guys, it is not up to the investigator to say, but it was self-defense, so I'm going to implicate a dead man.
Mr. Holmes,
Yeah.
could you explain it to me?
Oh, wait,
As
what?
I informed you on our way
Oh,
here,
right.
Patrick Cairns is the murderer of Black Peter.
Why bring me here? Wouldn't it be better if we...
Alright,
Oh,
bring him in. Here we go.
Good day, gentlemen. A young lad gave me a note from Captain...
I love how dickheaded this is of Sherlock.
Is he here?
Yeah.
Indeed, it is
I
the correct
don't like
address.
it.
But in place of your captain,
I present to you
Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard.
He said you look
Means-
stupid.
it means, my friend, that you are arrested for the murder of...
Poor
Peter.
Lestrade is all nervous.
What? What? A trap? You think you can take me?
Here now. We'll have none of that.
We'll have
Say
none
that
of
we will.
Poor fucking Lestrade.
He
Yeah,
tried
exactly.
to be so calm about the
Calm unction.
situation.
He can plead self-defense after being arrested. It's
Yeah.
not up to the inspector to play judge and fucking jury. Plus, this man is quick to violence.
certainly is.
I don't think it takes much for him to have self-defense. Hey, what happens if Holmes goes down? Does it change the ending?
I don't know.
Is this ending gonna mean that he gets away? Fuck.
Did he escape?
Fuck.
Yes, unfortunately.
I thought you were good at boxing, Mr. Holmes.
Fuck.
Apparently there's still room for improvement, eh?
How's your jaw, Inspector?
Oh, it's
Ouch.
fine. Mr. Holmes, all this is your fault. You should have warned me. I would have come with reinforcements.
Kinda was, yeah.
If that had been the case, then Cairns wouldn't have come here.
Well, maybe. I'm going now, Mr. Holmes. I'll put out a search. This scum won't get far.
So if you press this, Cairns is guilty. Conclusion, he is guilty.
That's how you want to finish it?
Why not?
Sure, go for it.
I think I'm playing Sherlock as an incompetent boob. Oh shit. I'm not good boxing. Justice Seeker. Personality ranking. It is really interesting that you can choose your ending.
Yeah.
I just really don't like that it's not definitive. And then in addition to that, there's no, like, the investigation truly wasn't over.
No, it really didn't feel like
The investigation would also, if he was a suspect, the investigation would involve bringing him in and grilling him and saying, we've got proof that it's you, we've got it, and then getting him to confess, hopefully, or getting at least some more clues or whatever.
Yeah, I felt like we weren't finished with him at all.
You don't just jump off the fucking deep end, bring him into a cage match with the local inspector just based on your hunch.
The rest are way more detailed.
Are they?
That's
Like,
cool.
they have
That's
definitive proof? But according to this game, that's supposed to be definitive, that ending. It doesn't feel like it to me.
I don't know, a lot of people are saying that it wasn't definitive.
I don't think it was.
This trip to the countryside
Whoa.
will be good for you, Holmes.
This is the next case? I guess I'll quit the game or something.
It's probably just a teaser, right?
Fresh air, brisk walks,
Okay.
bird watching, chopping wood.
Sounds intolerable. I mean, certainly it sounds
He's got his
delightful.
deer
But you
hunter
haven't
on.
yet told me who your friend is. The one we're going to visit.
He is a bee lover.
A bee lover? Do you mean that he keeps bees? That must be Mrs. Hudson, bringing the warm cloth that I requested.
There is someone to see you, Mr. Holmes.
I have no time. Send whoever it is away.
Shit,
Yes,
we
Holmes,
can't
I really think we
go.
ought to leave now.
Mycroft.
Whoa!
Oh, Mr. Holmes? Perhaps you don't remember me. I'm Dr. Watson. We met at the Diogenes Club a few years ago. I documented our encounter in a short story I gave the title The Greek Interpreter.
He does remember you, Watson. My brother remembers everything, and that is why he is so valuable to the government.
We're about to depart for the train station.
I know.
You know?
Sherlock, I need your help. There are people who presently threaten both our country and the Crown itself. You must help us with those methods of yours.
Need help. Those are not words I would readily associate with you, Mycroft.
I wrote you a letter, but you did not reply. And this is not about politics. It's about people. People similar to those whom you pretend to defend in your petty detective affairs.
Everything is about politics with you, Mycroft. I'm not interested. Have some of your agents, your spies, or worse, undertake this job of yours. You are defending your people, and they have little to do with the people I choose to help, I can assure you.
That's the point. You think exactly as they do.
Who are they?
The Merry Men. He is talking about the Merry Men, a band of idealistic terrorists.
Sherlock, do please think about it. They are planning something diabolical. Your country needs you.
You need me, Mycroft, and you are not the country. Although if your waistline expands very much further.
Mrs. Hudson, tea will not be necessary. Dr. Watson, the train conductor, Mr. Parker, is aware that you will be 7 minutes late. You are in the 4th car. The train will be waiting for you. Sherlock, enjoy your time in Staffordshire. And do, please, at least write to me on your return.
So that's the intro to the next case.
Cool.
So that's the end of today's. I think we probably will long haul it eventually. Maybe. Yeah, I think we should.
I think it's
maybe
good
not this
for the
season,
show.
but maybe later on down the road. Yeah.
I like having discussions with you about who done it.
It is very much. It's good for the show. Yeah, this is a good. Yeah. In the end, I do hope that the other ones have more definitive proof in the end, because even if a lucky throw was required for the other two suspects, you can't discount the possibility. But again, like that's how Sherlock, in a lot of Sherlock stories, when he doesn't have definitive proof, he uses his spook tactics of knowing so much about the person and their motives that he lays it out all on the table to the point where they think that it's so definitive and locked down that they just get a confession.
Yeah.
Which you end up getting in this, but you have to commit to an ending before you get it. But thankfully you can reverse if you don't.
Yeah.
You know.
Wait, scratch that reality.
Exactly. So in the end, we got it via Holmes' typical methods. It's just that it was in a way that seemed like, I don't know, felt like it wasn't
a little
fair
bit
to
like
the
it
player.
was cheating.
Yeah, it felt like cheating instead of playing. But I guess being Sherlock Holmes is cheating when it comes down to it anyways, right?
Yeah.
It was improbable that it was the other two, but still possible.
Yes.
And it was, what was most suspect was just the way the fucking sailor acted and talked about his most recent murder victim.
Yeah, that really
just seems
threw
very
me
odd.
off, but I really didn't
No matter how drunk you are, you fucking lay low, and you don't, even if you're not laying low, you don't talk about the victim for a while.
Yeah.
You dummy. I don't care how drunk he was.
It could have been the kid.
I still think so too. And I saw a bicep under that coat. Anyways, we'll see you later, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time, this has been Video Games Awesome Crime and Punishments Sherlock Holmes Adventures. See you. Goodbye.